What up, Internet? Quick question for you. Why do you forgive, and how do you forgive? My name's Daniel. I'm a licensed professional counselor and a hobby baker. Today, while I make some focaccia pizza, I'm going to talk a little bit about forgiveness. To answer that first question, why do you forgive? Maybe you have religious reasons or experiences seeing its effects in your life. Maybe you're aware of the health benefits. Studies have found that forgiveness can reduce your risk of heart attack, improve cholesterol, lower levels of anxiety, depression, stress, improve sleep. But for the question of how do you forgive, I want to talk a little bit about a framework from Everett Worthington, who's a researcher in the forgiveness process. This framework has the acronym REACH. The R stands for recall the hurt. In forgiveness, we have to recall or recognize all the aspects of the incident or event. Recalling what happened, what was said, what was done, how I felt in that moment, how I felt in the moments following. If we don't do this part, we can't fully forgive someone for all of the things that it entailed. For some people, this is hard, recalling all of this when you just want to stuff it away. The E stands for empathize. Now that may sound funny. In forgiveness, why should I empathize with the person who hurt me? But what Worthington found in his research was that when people took the time to try to understand or empathize with the person that hurt them, it was easier to forgive and to hold on to that forgiveness a month away. The idea is when the memory comes up that brings about a sense of pain, unforgiveness might feel like anger and bitterness and rage or resentment. But if we introduce empathy, we can maybe add care or love or compassion as emotions that might take the place of that anger, bitterness, and rage. So the idea of empathy, we kind of break that down into three different pools. The first level of empathy we call cognitive empathy. I can think about what they might have thought about. The second level is emotional empathy. I think about what they might have thought about, and I can start to feel what they may have been feeling. And the third level is a compassionate empathy, where I think about, feel what they might have been feeling and thinking, and out of that feeling, I have an urge to reach out and offer care and comfort for that person. Now, compassionate empathy, in most cases of forgiveness, probably not going to get there, and probably not necessary. But the idea of seeking to understand and maybe even feel what they were feeling can do a work in our own heart that makes it easier to forgive. The A stands for altruistic gift, which is kind of a funny word to put in, but it had to spell reach. But the idea is you're offering a gift of forgiveness. Forgiveness isn't letting the person off the hook or saying what they did right, but it's offering that gift to remove the burden from that person. And sometimes the unburdening process is for yourself. Maybe even most times. Because this idea of walking around with this hurt and this pain and this anger and this bitterness, it gets heavy. So to forgive unburdens yourself. The C stands for choose. Choose to forgive. It's important to know that there is a choice component to this, and sometimes it's hard. You don't want to choose it. And the H is hold on to forgiveness. For some people, the memory and the pain coming back up makes them question, have I really forgiven them? But the idea is you do the work, and this is not necessarily linear, step by step. You go up and down, empathizing, recalling a little more, recognizing the gift that it is, and holding on to the idea of, I've done the work and I'm choosing to forgive. Now, Worthington recommends starting out small, little hurts. He calls them nickel hurts, 5-cent hurts. Something that happened that hasn't affected me fully. But can I recall the hurt? Maybe a teacher in 7th grade said something and everyone laughed, and you felt embarrassed. If I empathize, maybe the teacher didn't realize that it hurt but never made a repair attempt. Maybe they were frustrated and lashed out, and then reflecting on offering that gift. And after you understand maybe the process a little bit, how to find that empathy, then you can move to the bigger hurts, or the $5 hurts, or the $50 hurts. Maybe I was cheated on by an old partner, and I'm recalling how it made me feel, pit in my stomach, so angry, so hurt, betrayed, how it affected me after, in future relationships. When I try to empathize, maybe I can understand that they grew up in a family where infidelity was common. It was normalized. Maybe I can try to understand They didn't know what it was like to be in an intimate, close, emotionally connected relationship. And so when our relationship got there, not that it's right or okay, they freaked out. And they went and sabotaged it. And offering that gift, or unburdening, maybe for yourself, to say, I'm not going to carry this hurt and this pain and this sense of distrust into my future relationships. I want to highlight that forgiveness doesn't always mean reconciliation. We can forgive and still not trust that person with our heart, vulnerabilities, feelings, insecurities, etc. The relationship part of it can be held at a distance if necessary, with firm boundaries, while the healing and unburdening can still happen. If you'd like to hear more about what a reconciliation process might look like, comment below this video, reconciliation. Otherwise, I'll leave you with this quote from Nelson Mandela. When a deep injury is done to us, we never heal until we forgive. Thanks for watching. See you next time.